Alrighty, I'm gonna work out today's assignment, the isogram checker. So you should look at the PDF if you haven't already. An isogram is a piece of text that has no repeated letters. So um, first I asked you to print an introduction and then do a while true loop. I'd like to define it. All right, and I'm going to print a blank line, and then I'm going to say while true. So that starts up a little loop. And we're going to ask the user for a phrase to check. So phrase equals input, enter a phrase. And then I told you if it's empty to break. If phrase equal empty quotes, break. And you could, at this point, say goodbye before you do the break. To be polite, but you don't have to. All right. I said then store the phrase in another variable called tester. So we say tester equals phrase. Tester is the one we're going to chop up. So, and then I say make tester lowercase. Tester equals tester dot lower. Get rid of spaces, and then I tell you the line. It's tester equals tester. Oop. See here, I got the word test there. I said tester dot replace. We're going to replace all spaces with empty quotes. That gets rid of all the spaces. Variable to store letters we've found and make it empty. I'm going to call my variable used. These are letters we've used already, and it's empty. Make a variable count and set it to 0. Count equals 0. We use that to count how many duplicate letters there were. And then I say do a for loop, for x in tester, for x in tester. So that's going to get each letter out of the variable tester, one at a time, put them into x. And then inside the loop, I want you to check if the current letter is in the variable used. So if x in used, that means it's already been, we've already seen that letter. That means it's a duplicate. So we'll say count equals count plus 1. And I'm going to print it. I'm going to say I'm not going to print it right now. I'm just going to check it counts. And if it isn't in used, I'm doing an else, and I'm going to say used equals used plus x. That puts the current letter into used, so that next time through, it would be found there. All right, and then after the loop is over, we check if count is equal to 0. If count equals 0, then we can say phrase is an isogram. Else, print phrase is not an isogram. There were count duplicate letters. All right, let's see how this works. Enter a phrase, hamster farm. Hamster farm is not an isogram. There were 3 duplicate letters. Bird cage is an isogram. I think there's another one. Put back my English word. Put back my English word. That is an isogram. Yeah. So I think right before enter a phrase, I'm going to put a blank line because that would make this easier to read over here in the output. And then in my output, I told you all the letters that got repeated. And I think that's a nice touch. So I'm going to repeats equals empty quotes. And then right here, if it's been used, then we're going to say repeats equals repeats plus X. We're actually I want to add a space and then X. That way we're and if we say it's not an isogram, right in this section right here, we can print repeated letters. See, I'm going to store this in that variable instead of down there. We'll just put it right here. Repeated letters. So right here we can just print repeats. So let's try it. All right. Hamster farm. Repeated letters ARM. I would like spaghetti and pork. A lot of repeated letters, 10 duplicate letters. Bird cage. It's an isogram. So I think I also want to print after. Just to space it out nicely. Bird cage. Bird cage is an isogram. And then I'm going to print space at the front of that line just so it's indented. Bird cage is an isogram. And then I see I would like to put a space on the front of the not an isogram line as well. I think I'm almost done making changes. Hamster farm. It just has to be lined up still. All right. Hamster farm. There we go. Bread and apples. Put back my English word. I hit enter and it says goodbye. All right. I think that's it. Yep.